Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Yes, so Dr. Lizzy throws the ultimate shades on, gospel. It's not a small thing, no. Queen Naomi, a global powerhouse. Queen Naomi's comeback is too humiliating. They said Dr. Lizzy, taunt gospel. Okay, Daylight. What we are witnessing in the palace right now isn't just about drama, it's history in the making, because Queen Naomi, the so-called silent queen, or the beautiful queen that is called the silent queen, has staged a comeback so powerful, so unstoppable, that the palace traditional power structure has been turned completely on its head. And not everyone is handling it well. In fact, some are breaking down literally, like, what Ebony has been going through the entire time. Gospel, she will not come out, she will not tell, she won't say exactly how the thing is aching her. She will just be somewhere, hashing plans on what to do. They say Dr. Lizzy, okay, the ever calculated royal, wife, okay, who doesn't talk anyhow, okay, but she is ready to deliver truth, has thrown the ultimate shade during a tense private section in the palace. She looked gospel dead in the eye and said, from silent queen to global powerhouse, Naomi's comeback is too humiliating for you to handle. And what did gospel do? She wept, not just tears of frustration, but the kind of tears that came, okay, from knowing you have lost the game you didn't even realize you were playing. Now, you know what is so painful? For me, I prefer an enemy like what do you call Ebony? Ebony will come out and fight you and, talk about what she does not want. Say, the kind of enemy that you should run away from. You see that gospel kind of enmity, that she will be biting you and blowing you, biting you and blowing you. And hence the reason why they call her, Olori Two-Face, right? Honestly, you see that biting and blowing, those kind of people, you will be looking them like this in the eye, they'll stare you in the eye and they will finish you. You will not know. They said she has destroyed the palace ranking system. That is Dr. Lizzy talking to Gospel Nano, that Naomi has destroyed the palace ranking system. Dr. Lizzy was talking to Gospel, okay? Gospel reportedly cried her voice cracking as she sat alone in one of the private rooms. The same system that once placed titles, influence, and seniority above substance. Queen Naomi crushed it, and she did it without shouting, without, scheming, without begging. She simply became undeniable, okay? Let's rewind. There was a time Queen Naomi was the quiet one, the one they thought would, fade away. Once the drama started, she walked away from the palace with dignity. When the heat became too much, she didn't grant bitter interviews. She didn't throw anyone under the bus. She simply focused on her son, her calling, and her purpose. And while others scrambled for camera time and stage event, Naomi was being refined in silence. Now her silence has transformed into influence. And I don't know what you're doing in silence. Your silence could transform into influence. Today, whether you like it or not, whether it is out there or not, whether it is just brewing yet, Queen Naomi is a force globally recognized for her spiritual insight, cultural grace, and humanitarian work. She's no longer just the wife of the Oni of Ife. She is a brand. She, received a doctorate degree the other time, been invited to speak on faith and royalty at the African Women in Leadership Summit that is coming on very soon to discuss women and child advocacy across Africa. Her aura has outgrown the palace walls, and that's what is driving people like, Gospel and Ebony, Gaga. That's what is driving them crazy. And now she is a brand ambassador for La Corona Royale, okay? Now, very soon we will see how this will begin to unfold. You see, palace ranking used to mean everything. Who sits where, who eats first, okay? You know this thing about palace ranking. I don't know if you've seen situations where, like maybe Humiliating, blow blow, maybe they are standing together to take photograph with KBSC, you will hear maybe Oletik will tell blow blow stand this way, or blow blow will tell Oletik stand that way, and all of that. They operate on palace ranking system. That's why they say palace ranking system used to mean everything. Who sits where, who eats first, who they only calls by name in public, who travels with him. But Naomi's influence has shifted the entire scale. She doesn't even live in the palace yet, okay? I do know that a lot of blogs are saying she lives there. This is not to debunk anybody's news. That's not my business. But my own sources are saying she's not yet living in the palace, okay? Yet her name opens door before any title is mentioned. Her movement are watched, her outfits traded, her speeches go viral, and every time she's been boarding the Oni's Gulfstream G700 alone, the message is clear. She's still the one, okay? They say that's the part Dr. Lizzy, could not ignore. She watched it all unfold, and she knows that no amount of force, appearances, or palace event can compete with true influence. And in her moment of, a brutal honesty, she told Gospel, okay? Dr. Lizzy told Gospel, keep fighting her. If it makes you feel better, but the palace has already chosen, not by title, but by impact. Naomi didn't destroy the ranking system. She exposed its emptiness. I said that was why what Dr. Lizzy told, Gospel. Now, one may want to ask why Dr. Lizzy is busy shading Gospel. A lot of things have been happening lately. From the fact that somebody had sent a letter to Corona Royale. I don't know, for some reason, even though Lizzy is very, very apprehensive towards Ebony, but Lizzy is a woman of wisdom, and she doesn't just judge you by the things you say, she judges you by your action. I think Lizzy somewhat thinks that Gospel is instrumental to that letter that was sent to Corona Royale. Even though outwardly, with the kind of outburst that Ebony has been, displaying lately, anyone would think that it could have been Ebony. But I tell you the truth, Dr. Lizzy knows that it's Gospel. Gospel did that thing to get Ebony into trouble. Gospel did that thing to get back at Ebony for accepting to go for that Senegal event. Gospel. I don't know. At this point, I should be here telling you that I do think that it is Ebony, but I seriously do not think it's Ebony. Because Ebony is wise enough to know that you cannot win in such malicious, disposition. You can't even win. They will know that something is wrong because they'll ask KBSC why. So the whole intention was open-ended. It wasn't meant to achieve anything. It was just meant to get Ebony into trouble. Well, this is what we are hearing. If the information is true, I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.